Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team. We're live from Phoenix, Arizona. Radio Row, Ben Hartsock.
He's been
It's Levack's fault.
He's had a rough day.
It's a common mispronunciation.
Now, Ben, you like this area because you Ohio State, man. Ohio State won a championship in this area in 2002.
Yeah, this is our old stomping grounds. I played in 2 Fiesta Bowls back in the day. One of them was for a national championship, and the second was still a BCS bowl game against Kansas State. So I like Phoenix.
Yeah, I mentioned. Besides the fact that you're wearing shorts right now, too, right?
Well, I'm a year-round shorts guy. You know, warm is a state of mind, even in the winter.
Okay, but where are you staying? Where do you live around year-round?
I live in Georgia now. Georgia's home for us.
Well, come live in Albany, New York, and then tell me you're going to wear shorts year-round.
There's a big difference between Albany, Georgia, and Albany, New York. I can tell you that right now.
Fake tough guy, right?
Ben Hartsock with us, NFL tight end with Armen and Levack on the team.
What did you think of this year's Buckeyes team? What they went through to get where they got?
I think whatever team you follow in college sports, could you name the third-string quarterback?
No.
I think the fact that Ohio State won a national college championship with their third-string quarterback is an incredible feat.
Right.
Think about Cardale Jones, that quarterback. First 3 games as a collegiate football player, Big Ten championship,
right?
Sugar Bowl where you beat Alabama,
correct,
and a national championship.
Yeah, you got a ring. Yeah. For each of his first 3 games.
Got a ring. If there's ever a time to drop the mic and walk off the stage,
like Eminem, yeah,
that's the one.
Should he have went pro?
No, because he's faced adversity in the sense that he was thrust into a tough circumstance. But in those circumstances, it's all gone perfect. He hasn't yet faced any adversity as far as losing a game, throwing 5 picks, and being the reason for a loss. You have to face some adversity, and facing that adversity in college is great because college coaches keep you around. If you face that adversity in the NFL, they find the next guy.
You're feeling pretty good about Ohio State winning again, aren't you?
I feel
can't you just tell by
pretty good.
Ben Hartsock's entire demeanor right now? You're like, this guy loves his program.
I like the program. I like where the Big Ten is as a whole right now. The Big Ten's been the whipping boy of college football for a couple years now, and this bowl season, I hope, can be a watershed moment where Ohio State, what they did is well documented, but Michigan State winning against an SEC team, Wisconsin winning against an SEC team, having Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. I think that the Big Ten is on the rise, and hopefully it's good for Ohio State, it's good for the Big Ten, it's good for college football when all of the conferences are competitive.
As much as you hate Michigan.
Much as I hate Michigan.
You have to love the fact that there's a chance they won't just be an easy W for Ohio State.
Rivalries are only fun if the teams are good.
Right.
And so you need a guy like Jim Harbaugh. And I said it when when Urban Meyer was hired, he was going to raise the bar of the conference, and it was either rise to what Urban Meyer is going to put out there as product, or you're going to be out. And you've seen that a lot of these teams with having turnover. Nebraska, new coach. Wisconsin, a new coach. D'Antonio up in Michigan State is continuing to grow. So that's the evolution of the game, is get better or get out.
Ben Hartsock, NFL tight end with us on 104.5 The Team.
We should make it a drinking game. Every time he messes up your name, we do a shot.
I'm just glad that the media party is tonight, man, because that's going to... You going to the media party tonight?
No, I'm new to this. I got to figure out where it's at. I got to get a ticket or something.
We're gonna. Actually, you got a credential, dude.
Oh, I'm in.
You're in.
Well, not to mention, we get to you can be my +1, bro. We can go hang.
Yes, we get guests. You can come with us.
I'll hold your hand if you're nice.
Okay, you're not my +1 anymore.
Hey, you know what? I miss my wife. I'll hold your hand. Wait, what? What just happened? Do you hate Michigan so badly as an Ohio State guy? Like, how deep does that hate go? If somebody walked by right now,
like if Tyrone Wheatley walked by,
are you gonna go punch him in the gonads?
It's a varying scale. There's a respect for the history of the rivalry.
Okay.
I'm not one of those guys that is going to, if I see somebody, and I'm not going to try to spear Charles Woodson if he walks through the room. You just have a respect for the history of that game. Well, maybe for 10.
Okay.
There's the history. That's what's great about college football, is the pageantry, is the tradition, and the rivalries that have happened for years. And it's you're representing for an Ohio kid to play for Ohio State and the Buckeyes. Having my parents go there, it's big. It's a big thing, and so that's why those rivalries are so special, is it's passed down from generation to generation. You don't see that as much in the NFL. With free agency, there's so much turnover on your roster from year to year. You don't have steel curtain defenses anymore.
Right.
You don't have 85 Bears. And so that, and then the other thing is fantasy football. Fantasy football has made the casual fan no longer a fan of a team. You're a fan of that back or that receiver or that tight end. There's not so much loyalty to a team franchise.
All right, well, speaking of these teams and how dynasties happen and don't happen, you had a unique perspective. You were on this New England team for training camp. You saw what they were up to. Was there anything that you saw right then that told you, all right, we're going to be talking about them in February?
No more than what had happened over the course of their past 10 years.
Right.
The culture of the Patriots is one of secrecy, of a little mystery. Belichick doesn't say anything. The players all stand there in their lockers and repeat whatever they've been told to say, as if somebody's got a taser in their back ready to squeeze the trigger. So seeing that from that perspective, being on the team side, the tight end coach, the short time I was there, he came up to me each and every day I was there. He said, "Did you talk to the media yet?" And I said, "No, Coach, I haven't spoken to him yet." When you do, he says, "Do not say anything. Don't compare us to anybody else. Don't compare them, Tom Brady to Cam Newton. Don't compare Bill Belichick to Rex Ryan. You say you're happy to be here and you're learning as much as you can."
Wow.
It is.
Was it like that with every position?
Oh, yeah.
That
is the Patriot way. So when you have that mantra, and then you also have a reputation of win at all costs, the whole Spygate scandal, the way that they win even as of late with Baltimore, and the way that they win with trickery, the ineligible / eligible receiver throwing it to a tackle for a touchdown. I like that. I think that's great. Use any advantage to your, anything you can do to your advantage. But the problem is they've stepped over the line. They work every advantage, but they also have crossed that line. You couple that with the fact that they're so mysterious, people automatically assume you're guilty.
Do you know the ball boy that's going to go down, and the poor 18-year-old kid? As a joke on the show, we call him Dave from Southie. We're just like, poor Dave from Southie, his butt is out of here because he's going to take the full fall for Deflategate.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was only there long enough for a cup of coffee. I know that they're going to use this to their advantage. Belichick's the master motivator and using those things. And as a player, I can tell you, being a player and now being on the outside, we as consumers of watching the game watch more and make a bigger thing out of us than when I was in the locker room. When you're in the locker room, you know what's going on, but you're not focused on it as much as the media outlets are.
Ben Hartsock.
Nicely
still
done.
Can't say it. That was not nicely done. That sucked. Hartsock with us with Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team. You're home for New York sports. Now, Ben, you wore number 84.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting next to you is Blake Novacek, whose father is Jay Novacek of the Dallas Cowboys. Did you know what number Jay Novacek wore?
Was he 88?
He was 84 as well.
No, I didn't know that.
And he's only listening right now, so no big deal.
Sorry, Jay. Big fan of yours. Love you, man.
Yeah, I can tell. You go real deep. I didn't know. Why did you choose the number 84?
That's just what happened. I was 88 in college. I was 42 in high school. I wasn't a big number guy. When you're a role player, you don't. Here's my favorite story about numbers. When I was with the New York Jets, I went there right at the end of their training camp. I was with the Atlanta Falcons, got cut, went to the New York Jets the day before the fourth preseason game. Meet Rex Ryan, and Rex goes, "Hey, Hartsock, nice to meet you. How you doing?" He asked me, he says, "Hey, have you picked out a number yet?" I said, "No, Coach, I haven't picked one out. I'm going to wait till after cuts here the next day or two to see what numbers are going to be available." This was during warm-ups before the preseason game when all these bubble guys are playing for their lives.
Right.
He, serious as a heart attack, he looks out among the field of the players warming up. He goes, "That one will be available. That one will be available." That one,
do you ever feel like you're talking to the Grim Reaper?
These poor guys, are ready to play the game of their lives, and they had no idea they're dead men walking. That's the reality of the NFL. That's just the reality of it.
Yeah.
So I had lots of numbers.
Wow, that's incredible.
And I got to ask you this one because you may be the one person who knows more than anybody that I'm going to talk to this weekend. Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You played with him. You caught passes from him. You saw how he looked towards the end of the season. Is it time?
Well, I'll tell you, during the later part of the regular season and everybody was saying he's lost it, I didn't buy it then because I believed C.J. Anderson was coming on. I thought that this is great for the Broncos because they're establishing more of a run game. Peyton's going to come on here when it counts, and that will all be it. But you watch that playoff game, and I'm a fan of Peyton simply because I was a teammate of his, so I pull for him just because of our relationship. But I don't think that it was an injury in that there was reports of his thigh being a quad tear.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, you could tell he was hurt and pulling through that game by the way he was hobbling around. You didn't have any inclination. His mechanics didn't look flawed. I don't have an answer, whether it's age, whether it's his neck, whether it was the quad. That's all conjecture at this point. But I do believe that it's not the same 18 that we're used to seeing. You don't watch playoff games with Emmanuel Sanders streaking down the seam and have Manning miss that pass very often.
Ben Hartsock with Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team, former NFL tight end. So what are you doing on Radio Row, baby?
Well, I'm trying to get into the game. You know, the next best thing to playing football is talking about it. So I'm here, and I've been trying to get myself in front of as many media outlets, trying to transition into that analyst role, and trying to, it's just practice, getting reps, talking to you guys. I get a little bit more experience and trying to network and make some contacts and see if I can make a second career out of it.
Well, it's funny, we have on Giants offensive lineman Jeff Schwartz.
Yeah.
We have him on every Tuesday.
Yeah.
And it's great because, he's towards the end of his career. He knows he's got another 2 or 3 years left.
Right.
And he called us a couple months ago and said, man, I listen to you guys on the Radio Pup app. You're doing a great job. Can I join you weekly so I can get radio experience, because this is what I want to do?
Right.
And us being, big Giants country.
Right.
We love it, man. We have a blast with him, and hopefully he's learning a little bit too. And I can tell you're one of those guys, you come to the table, you're ready to be molded, and you just want to get better, because you've been that way your whole life in football, and now you're ready for a new challenge.
Yeah, that's the thing that's unique to the NFL is we're trained and we're conditioned to climb the mountain. And honestly, making the NFL is the pinnacle of the sport. There's nowhere to go. Never played in a Super Bowl, but made it to the pinnacle of the sport in the sense of playing at the NFL. And at 34, which is a very long and illustrious, successful NFL career, you're put out the door, and that's it. So I'm looking for another mountain,
Perfect,
and that's the exciting thing, is to try and learn and get exposure and try again.
Well, you're good, man. You're
I
good
appreciate
at
it.
We appreciate great insight. Ben Hartsock. Son of a... Say it. Just say it.
Ben Hartsock.
Why can't I say that?
Hartsock.
I've never had a problem with any last name.
This is the best moment of my life. I'm loving this.
I said Okoye and Nigerian Nightmare 1,000 times this morning, and Hartsock is getting me.
Yeah, I met Okoye too. I was trying to tell him about how I played with him on Tecmo Bowl, right? I mean, he was unstoppable on Tecmo Bowl.
Him, Lawrence Taylor, Bo Jackson.
Yeah, unstoppable.
Those three. If you had those three players, it was over.
Unbelievable.